My guy here, Mr. Pick and Roll, Avery Johnson. And Coach, we have a series now. Bron and AD, we're back to taking over here, combined for 57 against the Suns. How big was this for the champs to kind of show up before this one swings back to LA?
Well, it's big for the Lakers because you don't want to mess around with a team like the Phoenix Suns. But it's also a huge bounce back for Anthony Davis. It is not just, the 34 points on the surface, but how did he score 34 points? He was 18 for 21 from the free throw line. He posted up more. I don't even know if he had one post up in game one, but to get to the free throw line 21 times, phenomenal. The Lakers in the last 3.5 minutes got 4 consecutive stops. It was a 1-point game, but their defense just put the clamps on the Phoenix Suns. Dennis Schroeder, 24 points in game 2. He only had 14 points in game 1. But this was a lot of missed opportunities for the Phoenix Suns. But the biggest thing for the Suns, and we talked about it in the open, is Chris Paul. If he's not healthy, they can't beat the Lakers. If LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy, they'll end up beating Phoenix. So this is a game about health and who can survive and be on the floor. But Phoenix Suns, really, they don't have a chance to beat the Lakers without a healthy Chris Paul.
So AD showing up there in game 2. Meanwhile, that hasn't been a problem for Luka. Doncic once again showing up, dropped 39 the Clippers. From a coaching perspective, when you look at Luka, he's had no problem with either Kawhi or PG in front of him guarding him. If you're Ty Lue, Coach, how do you kind of reset and try to at least slow him down in game 3 along with the other guys around him that's been hot as well?
Well, Luka should never have single defensive coverage. They should trap him early and often, try to deny him the basketball. Once he touches the basketball, it's lights out. So, and then your rotations has to be sound behind it. But he scored 17 points when Paul George and Kawhi Leonard was guarding him. Now, I thought this was supposed to be the best defensive wings in the league, a combination of both of those guys. So he owned those guys. He even had one of the old-fashioned European Slovenian dunks in the game where he didn't jump as high as Michael Jordan, but what a dominant performance. Also, Tim Hardaway Jr. coming up big late in the fourth quarter. So I think the Clippers, they better trap Luka as soon as he get off the bus. Don't allow him to catch the ball so easily and just try to force other guys to score. Rotations have to be sound. And then Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they're going to need some help. Where's Patrick Beverly? Where's Rondo? They're going to need some more help from some of their role players.
Yeah, you need the others there. We're seeing it there on Dallas side. Kristaps Porzingis having 20 and Tim Hardaway as well have been a walking bucket for Dallas. And now the reason why they lead 2-0. Speaking of 2-0, Brooklyn, they're 2-0 right now against the C's. It wasn't the big three. It wasn't really Kyrie, KD, or James Harden, but Joe Harris had 22 in the first half. Now, the big three, they did combine for 61. But are we starting to see something here? If you're going to play Brooklyn, you got to have to pick your poison between the 4 now, even with Joe Harris in the play.
Yeah, I call him not smoking Joe Frazier, but smoking Joe Harris. And he is on fire. And now you have a chance to forget about just the big 3. Now you got a big 4. If he's going to shoot the ball from the outside like that, every time he shoots it, it looks like it's going in. And, here's a guy that, opted out of the bubble or played a few games in the bubble and then decided not to play last year, but he's playing this year. And he's been a difference maker, along with Blake Griffin. This is a prime example, Brandon, when a guy like Blake Griffin goes from being a star player on the team to the 5th or 6th best player. And, man, he looks like a different player than when he was with Detroit. But that big 3, man, these guys can get 80 points combined in their sleep. And it just looks like the Celtics have quit. Kemba Walker, I don't know if his knee is bothering him, played a little bit better. Jason Tatum obviously is a future superstar playing without Jaylen Brown. It's going to be hard for them to even come close to beating this dangerous Brooklyn Nets team.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.